Damn. We
We
live,
live,
man.
man.
Let me see,
Let's
man.
see.
Chicago
Bears.
Bears.
First word
presented
presented by
Dr.
Dr.
Pepper
Pepper
from
from
the
Worldwide
Worldwide
Studios.
Studios. The
The
stars
stars,
Isaiah
Stanton,
Echo.
I'm Kyle
Kyle
Yeoman,
Yeoman,
and
and
guys,
guys,
I
I
think you
think
can tell
you
by
can tell
just
by
the
just
tone of
the
my
tone of
voice.
my voice.
That was frustrating. That was bad. That is a bad performance. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah, it was bad.
Not a good game.
It was an extremely frustrating performance, especially on the defensive side of the football, because the same mistakes that were made against the New York Giants, the same correctable coaching mistakes that were made against the New York Giants, as far as communication goes, as far as being in the right spot, alignment-wise, things that are all, before the snap, things are all preventable. The same things happened in today's game against the Chicago Bears. When you looked at it, the explosive plays were a lack of communication, bad eyes, not being where you're supposed to be. And it happened once again as far as the explosiveness has happened. I mean, they got four players, for the Chicago Bears had each catch had a catch of over 30 yards. The explosive plays on this defense is just at an all-time high right now. And it's not only on the secondary. When you have a quarterback back there who all day you can have Deion
Feedback.
Sanders, Darrell Reeves, whoever the case may be. When a quarterback has that long to throw the football, bad things are going to happen. This defense is struggling right now because the communication is at an all-time low, but also they're getting no pressure on the quarterback. And quarterbacks in this league are too good to let stand back there and play 7-on-7 football, because that's exactly
No pressure.
Leak background, can't hear it, for real.
I agree with you. There were a lot of things in this game that we can go back and point to. I'm just going to fast forward to the thing that stuck out most for me. And the thing that stuck out most for me was the last drive of Dak Prescott's game. Let's just say it that way. Dak Prescott being in the game, gets the ball down to the 11-yard line. From that point forward, you had 5 straight passes, 4 of those passes of which being within the 5-yard line and in. So 4 straight passes that ended up obviously in an interception. That, to me, I don't understand. I'm not the offensive play caller. It's not for me to understand. I can only dissect what I see on film. And when you're running the ball as effectively as you were against the Chicago Bears front, when you have invested as much as you have into this offensive line that was doing their job in terms of the running game, and you have a running back who's averaging over 7.5 yards per carry in this game, I don't understand how you don't give him an opportunity to run the ball from the 5-yard line back-to-back plays. Or after you get the roughing the passer call, you get the ball down to the 1-yard line, how he doesn't have an opportunity to touch the ball out the backfield with that offensive line and that running back. I can't comprehend that. And then that's the last time we saw Dak, and we don't need to talk about that right now.
Well, we will at some point.
And I have to talk about it because that's the very nature of who I am. With 4 minutes left in the game and my quarterback runs out of the game, I'm thinking he's injured. He's not just standing over there. I need some answers.
What?
What it's called?
Yeah.
I can't wait. I want to know why your quarterback didn't finish this game.
Down by just 2 scores,
Just
at
17
that point in time. And,
Just 17 points. Like you said, if they would have scored,
Which they almost did.
what do you do then?
Yeah.
That's bothersome. That's not right.
That's one of a number of things, especially this offseason, that was built on culture, right? That was
man. Real Jones, man. I see what you're saying, man.
With
every down.
4 minutes left,
Defense
you
terrible.
basically threw in the towel and said, we'll see what happens. Now, give credit. I mean, Joe Milton threw a couple good passes. They were able to drive down the field. They had a shot into the end zone. Brevin Spanford took it all the way down inside the 5 prior to a penalty. Lots of things there to talk about, and there's more before that point to even address when it comes to effort. I'm looking at the secondary in that regard. But when it came to that moment in the game, Isaiah, I think all of us looked at each other collectively and said, there's a lot of time left here.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-score game.
Yeah.
That's why it's bothering all of us up here. Again, we're not paid to be in a position to make those calls, but as competitors, and especially when you're teaching competition at the ethos of your team, new head coach, coaching up the team for the first time in your life as a head coach, and you're teaching competitiveness, you're teaching being relentless, you're teaching going after it every single down. You're in a game that is winnable. Down by 2 scores. Yes, you need a 2-point conversion, but you're in a game that's winnable.
and you have your quarterback that you consider to be the best quarterback in the league because his paycheck says so.
Yeah.
Highest paid player in the league, perfectly healthy, in a winnable game, and he's not allowed to finish because you take out your white flag and you wave it. And for
Soft.
competitors, both as players and coaches and decision makers, we can't fathom how you can take somebody out in that situation, because what does that now communicate to the rest of your team? Milton comes in the game, throws some darts. Brevin Span Ford plays out of his mind trying to get a touchdown because why? He's competing. So if he was to score on that and you're able to get the 2-point conversion and your defense goes out there and is able to get a 3 and out, maybe you get the ball back with 2.5 minutes left, and then what? Does Dak go back in the game?
Can't do it.
What are you communicating to your team?
And it's not like, they were putting Dak in harm's way out there. I could see if he was getting lit up the entire game, every time he dropped back to pass, somebody was in his face or hitting him in his chest. But they only gave up, 2 sacks the entire game. The offensive line, in my opinion, played pretty well. They opened up holes for Javonte Williams. They had Dak Prescott protected. He couldn't find anything down the field, so he had to kind of dump it off to a security blanket in Ferguson, who ended up with 15,000 catches. But when you look at it, I felt like the offensive line played well enough to where he's not getting lit up down in and down out. He could have went out there and continued to fight. That's all we hear about each and every day from this team: fight, resilience, all this other stuff.
Right.
And just like Isaiah said, what type of message is going to the team when you put, your backup quarterback in the game with that much time left?
There's a lot to break down whenever it comes to that decision. Dak specifically, you talked a lot on the defensive side, and there's plenty to clean up on the defensive side. But I do want to talk about Dak specifically. 31 of 40 passing, 251 yards. He did have the touchdown to George Pickens. Couple interceptions. One was a drop by Pickens that resulted in the interception. The other one was on 4th and goal, trying to fit it in a tight window on that scenario that Isaiah, you brought up earlier. 4 straight pass plays from inside the 5-yard line
with 2 high safeties,
with a 6-man box.
Yeah, you got to be able to run the ball.
Got to run the ball.
You got to.
Javonte Williams finishes with 10 carries, 76 yards, had a long of 22, ran the ball effectively well. Nate, when you look at the offense, what stood out to you and how this one all kind of came together?
You were competing. To me, you were still in the game.
Yep.
You ran just enough to keep them honest, like you said, to keep that pass rush off of them. You still had the players. You had Turpin, you had Pickens, you had Ferguson, like you say, he was dinking and dunking. You still had an opportunity. And so, once again, 4 minutes, 18 seconds left, and the big dog disappear. That's just heartbreaking for me, me personally.
I mean, as a player, how do you react to that when you're conceding basically with that much time left on the clock?
Yeah,
as a new head coach that's trying to get tread on the wall, that's trying to communicate and relay messages to his team and trying to create this identity. This is a huge step in terms from these guys sitting up here.
Yeah,
we're not in that locker room.
Yeah,
but from all the situations that we may have been in through our careers, okay, I have the shortest career out of all these guys, but I can't comprehend.
Yeah, CeeDee trying to come back in the game.
Ooh, we're not.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got guys saying, "Hey, man, I'm here for the team," and they're trying to do the best they can.
Right.
I mean, just keep playing. I've been on a 3-13 team. I've been when things are bad. I've been when got down by 40 points, and
yeah.
But you keep playing.
But it presents the reason why we're harping on this is because it presents an issue down the road now. Because now, in a future scenario, where you might be in a tight ball game, or you're asking guys to go above and beyond the, the call of duty, I'm saying, hey Barry, I need this. You just hurt yourself. I need you to get back in there. Yeah. I'm gonna think back.
Yeah,
I can't help but to think back to when we had an opportunity to win the game and go 2-1 on the season, and you put in the backup quarterback.
Yeah. You keep this in mind. This is not a team that's in week 16 or 17 and eliminated from playoff contention. We're in week 3. This thing's just getting started. This is the start of the year, start of a coaching tenure, start of a lot of different things here. So there are going to be questions that need to be answered from the coaching staff, from some of the leaders on this team, from some of the guys that did not finish the game that maybe could have if they would have stayed in the ball game. I'm not going to say names right now, but there are certainly ones out there.
Press conference would be nice in OT.
There's going to be a couple of them to hit on as we go through. Barry, since you've talked about the defense, I want you to give an opportunity to talk about what you saw on that side of the balls. well
On the
defense side.
Yeah, defensive ball. I mean, I think the one gentleman that we were all hoping to see today, for whatever reasons might be, whether he wasn't conditioned enough or didn't know the defense enough, whatever it was, their decision. I think Clowney could have impacted this game.
Thank you.
What we've seen from him in the past. We don't know who he is today.
Sure.
But from his previous film in his last 3 stops where he had 17 sacks, you could have used his presence today. I think there were obviously some of the same things, like Barry said, that we've seen on film, that we talked about in the pregame show, that we talked about in special edition leading up to this week, that were coverage issues. There was communication issues on the back end. That happened once again today. It's not necessarily happening from the same person every time. You had a young secondary out there. Trevon Diggs was out there. He missed opportunities that he had one-on-one. He's not who he once was. He has to understand that in his head and adjust his game. There were guys, safeties, that dropped the ball again in terms of coverage and in terms of responsibility. So there was a lot of things that happened on that back end. That's what we've seen just on the TV film. When we did take a deep dive as the week presents itself, I'm sure there'll be more that's out there.
Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, Osa.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys that have to pick up the game. Sam Williams is coming off of injuries. May take him a few weeks. Okay, Osa, you are a veteran. You understand the magnitude of these games. Dante Fowler, where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you, my brother? This just was not a well-played game. And for us to be from week 1 to week 2 to week 3, we need to see improvement. And that is what I've been banking on all since training camp. So as long as we're getting better, but to make the same mistakes over and over. You did a super job in pregame breaking down the secondary. One of the touchdowns was the very same thing you drew up. Yeah. That cannot happen.
All of this to be said,
man,
you could argue that
get whoever it was on the staff, man. Whoever
and they took a step back in week 2, still won the game, but
somebody Jesse, man. Get him on the
Week
staff.
3, it's a significant step back, and you fall in this one, 31-14, the final score. We'll have plenty more reaction. We're going to hear from Coach Schottenheimer and rest of the Cowboys locker room from Soldier Field in Chicago momentarily, as Cowboys OT is incoming on the streaming networks, and check your local listings as well. Here are the final stats brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper thing. It was not the Cowboys night on this 21st night of September in Chicago. 31-14.
Still had them,
the final.
held them to under 100 yards rushing.
So long. Thanks for watching The First Word, presented by Dr. Pepper.
We ripped the Band-Aid off of old Scar and got another one. Now we can't stop nobody in the secondary.
Right.
That's it.
You on
speaker?
Yeah, because when we talk, it just echoes back and forth. But yeah, I don't want to go too deep into it, man. We just on here watching the post game. OT should be on in a minute. See some of these press conferences out of the locker room. Honeymoon phase is over. The honeymoon phase is over. They won't clip us for none of this, will they? Let me get this over here. Let's see. All right. Man. All right, let me find the other post game. All right, if y'all got any questions, man, shoot them out there, man. Any comments, I can shoot them out there. The whole crew will be on tomorrow, where we give our post-game analysis and all that. I'm just here watching the the press conferences after the game. Let's see. Mm, 31-14, man. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I'm trying to find some more stuff, man. They ain't back live. Let's go to 105.3 The Fan. See what they talking about. I thought I seen them out here somewhere. There they go. Yeah, let's see what Broadus and all them saying. Sure. Right there. There they go.
You know, hold them on defense and then getting that ball back, and that fumble was just soured everything. And they, you know, if that coach over there, he's got some tricks up his sleeve. But let me tell you something I was worried about. I was worried about your offensive line today as well. I mean, we know his defense sucks, but Steele was getting walked back like crazy. Booker got run over by Montez. Oh, it was horrible. So I mean, there's I guess some of them the twists and stuff, but it's not. They just didn't look like they were prepared, and that's what I thought anyway. I look forward to trying to break down the tape when I get a look at it, but it's very depressing.
Yeah, I feel dude right there. I don't think he had him prepared out the gate.
CeeDee laying back there at that point in the game. That was stupid. Shouldn't have done it.
All right, if you put them back there, don't run
I'm pissed off. I'll get over it, but we'll talk soon, fellas. Appreciate you.
Take it.
I appreciate you, Big Jim. Thank you so much for the call. That opens up a line, 877-881-1053. 1053. We'll hear from Jerry Jones coming up on the other side. He's been speaking to the media, interested in what Jerry had to say after a 31-14 Cowboys loss in Chicago to the Bears. Bears get their first win of the season, and it certainly was not a happy homecoming for a lot of former Cowboys that were going back to Chicago after being either on that coaching staff or playing for the Bears. All right, let's go out to Tate in Fort Worth on line 4. Tate, you're on the official postgame show of the Dallas Cowboys.
What's up, guys? It's been a while talking to y'all, and really, the only couple questions I have is, Broadus, do you think that Terrence Steele is going to get benched pretty soon? Because I definitely see the evidence out there right now.
Yes,
and then I also very much agree with the fact that we can't put it all on Flus because the personnel that we have is not very good for him to evaluate very well.
Agree.
And understanding that he's pretty much scared to figure out what coverages he wants to do. And I guarantee if this keeps up with how the pass rush is, the defense is definitely not going to look very good going forward. So I'll let y'all go on.
Yeah, thanks. I think I tweeted this out, and I felt like that this could be the game that gets Terrence Steele. I think there'll be some questions about the tackle. I know that Guyton wasn't exactly good either.
No, I mean, hey.
And Stephen Jones even came on us with us Friday afternoon a week ago and talked about the fact that they are
everybody got bullied.
Nate Thomas. I to me personally, I would replace the right tackle. I think the left tackle is like your future. I don't think the right tackle is.
I think that's totally fair. Go through the lumps and the growing pains with Guyton.
Go ahead.
See what you have.
Exactly.
Make that assessment.
Keep going with Guyton. But to me, Terrence Steele is not your future. Go ahead and see if Nate Thomas could be that guy at right tackle. Stephen Jones thinks that he's played well enough to where maybe he can.
Yeah, and he was open to it when we talked with him on Friday on the flagship on the G-Bag Nation 105.3 The Fan. You can catch him on at 3 p.m. every single Friday on the Fan. 877-881-1053.
Man, benching Terrence Steele, that's huge. Super huge, man. put Big Nate in there. I don't know if I seen Big Nate on this side. I thought he was on the left, but yeah, man. Like you can't. Yeah, I thought Steele was just had problems with dudes with fast feet, but you getting bullied. You getting bullied too, man.
That opens up a couple of lines. That is the number to call, the number to text. I know a lot of you are emotional. I feel you. You guys know that. I'm born and raised a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan as well. I absolutely hate doing post-game shows like this after we watch our team get absolutely embarrassed on the road against an organization that is inept and is laughable and usually is on the other side of this. Unfortunately, it's the Cowboys tonight that got absolutely pummeled, 31-14. And next week, it's the Green Bay Packers and your old friend Micah Parsons coming into town. So not a whole lot of brightness at the end of that tunnel. We'll hear from Jerry Jones, Brad Sham, the voice of your Cowboys, later on in the postgame show. Dak Prescott, your head coach Brian Schottenheimer. More of your calls and texts. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah, what's up, Slick?
What up, fellas?
Yeah. We ain't giving no overall analysis yet, well, we just peeping the post games out, man, seeing the little interviews and reacting, man. Brothers just said they think they should bench Turn Steele. That's what he was saying out there, saying he might get benched.
I ain't mad about that, but it's bigger than just Steele.
Yeah,
But I ain't mad about that, Sid.
Mm-hmm. Ain't going like shit. You gotta sit. That can be bad for the damn team.
Yeah. Yeah. What they say about CeeDee? What they looking at?
Hey, from what I seen, it looked like it's gonna be high ankle, but they ain't said nothing yet. So none of the interviews out of the locker rooms came up yet. I'm waiting. I'm over here checking to see if the overtime, because they'll normally post most of the interviews, but I'm right here on 105.3. They said Jerry's gonna come up, so maybe we'll find something through Jerry. Maybe he'll say something, but to me, man, all day long it looked like high ankle to me. So
Man, that skill shot picture that's going around didn't look good. Motherfucker didn't look good at all.
yeah.
Nah, hopefully it ain't that bad.
Yeah, that's what me too.
I said he walking around barefoot on the sideline.
Yeah,
I seen that.
and then he tried to come back, but
it's horrible.
Yeah. But
yeah, man.
That wasn't the game for him to come back in.
But like that type of shit happens too. Like you ain't running hard, you playing, thinking niggas is coming downhill, man.
Linebackers, you trying to play running back, you ain't out there with the corners and bing. You coming with linebackers and deep linemen. Get up through.
You have to go and hit that. Oh, you get there and get the dance and try to throw a still for him, and don't do that.
Yeah.
Man, I wouldn't even call that damn play, man. If you put them back there, make them a decoy, man. Just everybody see him back there, they're gonna be like, "Oh, CeeDee's back there," so he's gonna get the focus, man. So why don't you use that to your advantage and play action off of it? Don't give him the ball.
Your running back getting 5 a pop, like give it to him.
I'm thinking if you got him back there, pull him out and let him run a route out of the backfield. Have him lined up on a linebacker. Don't run.
Yeah, like
or have Lipke out there with him. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody to spin on before him.
Exactly.
Let me see what they trying.
Single back.
The Cowboys 31-14 at Soldier Field.
I don't know. They playing that little music. I don't know what that's gonna do.
Hey man.
Hey, everybody
on us.
Yeah. Well, we knew we were supposed to keep up with them offensively, and being down CeeDee. I mean, come on. I mean, if we could have been able to run the ball more and kept the game close that way, then you can kind of win that game without CeeDee. But with CeeDee, man, we would have to go on the shootout like we've been.
They're not hustling. I will say that. And there's a couple of guys who are actually playing well, but I mean, come on, nobody has put pressure on the passer. Have you? Well,
Nobody.
You guys watch TV. I don't think you listen to the whole broadcast, but I don't think anybody has heard me say Dante Fowler's name.
No.
I know I haven't heard it because I've never said it.
Yep.
I think that I'm still waiting for the second round pick.
Yeah.
And I really expected. I give him the first game. Brian, we talked about that last week.
Sure.
He played better last week, but I'm expecting more. Definitely expecting more out of Sam Williams, and they're not getting it. And so there's zero pressure on the passer. And
Zero.
then they're playing with what they're playing with in the secondary. And at that, I think the slot kid is.
This is why I said Clowney's better than everything we got right now, for real. And we don't know what he is.
I can't dispute that.
Yeah.
I can't dispute that because what we got ain't getting it. Zero
Ain't
pressure.
Zero pressure, man.
Zero.
And to be honest, no adjustments made at halftime. None. Yeah, on offense, on defense, no adjustments made whatsoever.
Honeymoon
Like they
phase.
just wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
They weren't even ready to play. They was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
I said it when the Parsons trade first happened. I say it again. We traded one vice for another. We got rid of one problem to gain another one. We got rid of our best pass rusher to be able to rush the pass was stop the run. And in our forms, we didn't do that. The run really ain't gassed except for quarterback.
They only got 87 yards. They got 87 yards.
Yeah,
total.
so we didn't do that. So we got what we was looking for. To me, this is what we was looking for.
Explosive plays. But you gotta be able. But the thing is, you got to be able to shoot out with them. That's what I'm saying. That's what we were expecting, the shootout, but we ain't get it.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna win a lot of games just winning shootouts.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna. You can win. You can win a lot. You can win some. Let me put that. You can win some. You can beat your Giants. You're supposed to be able to beat your Bears, but you can win those games at home. On the road is different. Road is different.
How did Russell put up 450 on us on the road?
At the house, yeah. Russ put up damn near 5. Yeah. But we still pulled that out in the shootout, mainly because I thought we was at home. And at the Giants. We just it's gonna be a long season. It's gonna be a long season.
Yeah. Well, one of them picks gonna be high.
One of them picks gonna be high. one
playing pretty well.
One of the picks is gonna be high.
Stewart, I think he's doing pretty good. But I mean, you can't give up 4 or 5 explosive passes a game. You just can't do it. That's a recipe for disaster. Until they figure out how to not do that, then they're going to be in trouble.
And if y'all got any comments while y'all out there watching with us, man, y'all can just comment. We already got look like Otho Jones. He already said we terrible again on defense, and DBs are out of position, and D-line not having lane discipline and zero pressure. So, if anybody else got something they want to say while we out here, man, now's your chance.
And I don't know how you not do that with zero pressure on the passer. I think they made him sweat once.
Hey, Brad, I kind of felt like, and I think we all felt like the defense could have a problem today. I mean, going into this, I know we were all thinking high scores, it could be back and forth kind of thing. I think the offense wasn't very good today. And I say that in a way that they needed to be a 35-point offense today like they were last week.
That's asking a lot now. You know that.
And I know that. But I also know that they were down 2 defenders in the secondary. I know the Cowboys were down their one of their best players at wide receiver, but I felt like though this was going to have to be a shootout game because I did worry about Dallas's defense. And I even picked the game. I even picked it 35-30. I picked it that way, but I feel like that maybe Dallas's offense let them down a little bit today.
I have to look back at some of the stuff. Now, I think one of the biggest plays in the game was just a great play by Stevenson, the cornerback, who stole the ball from Williams on the first. I mean, they are rolling. I mean, the run by Williams was great. Steals were getting out in front of everybody down the field. They were going to score on that possession.
Right.
Instead, they don't have the ball. And so that wasn't a bobble. He wasn't not protecting it. Stevenson just made a heck of a play. So good for him. So that's one. And then I have to look back. I don't remember why the next two drives were field goals instead of touchdowns. What broke down? You know, they did get points. You want touchdowns. And when they tied the game, if I were a betting man, which thank God I'm not, if I were a betting man, I'd have bet you when they tied the game that they were fine. And even when they fell behind again 17-14, I would have bet you they're fine. And then when the Bears went on that march at the end of the second quarter, then you thought, oh, okay, this is going to be a lot to overcome.
Right.
And then I can't remember. Do you have it in front of you? What happened on the first possession of the third quarter?
They went.
I know Dallas punted.
They went 7 plays, 18 yards is what they did. They had 2 first downs on the play. They scrimmaged. The last scrimmage play was on the Dallas 46.
And after the first down, they had a 4-yard run, and then Dak got sacked for a loss at 10, put him at 3rd and 16.
Okay, so that doesn't help. That doesn't help. I mean, that's a big possession. And then things got out of hand after that, and you had to play offense differently. And I mean, without CeeDee Lamb, that's a major thing for them. I mean, when you scored 14 points, Brian, I have a hard time disputing you, but I did think that they were. I mean, there were times when they were rolling. They looked like they had the plays were the right plays. They kind of had it going the way they wanted to. They were running the ball well, and then when it got out of hand and they got behind and they didn't have Lamb, that's when they didn't have the wherewithal to pick up the slack for them. But that's you're uncontrovertibly correct that they had to score more than 14 points to win this game. If you said going in you're going to get 14, I would have said that's not enough. I would have agreed with you. But I have a hard time laying this one at the feet of the offense.
Well, I just say
defense is not giving them a chance to compete.
I just knew that the defense. I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking this defense isn't good enough. That's what I'm thinking. You know, and if you make a pregame prediction, when you say a team that's been awful on offense all year, the Bears are going to score 30 points. I think I have a little fear of what's happening now. Now it turns in. And again, I'm not trying to wipe everybody seems to be focusing on the Dallas defense, but the Bears were maybe more compromised than you today.
Yeah.
And you didn't do what you needed to do. The turnovers were bad in the second half. I'm not talking about the Joe Milton one, but the fact that you had to punt the end of the half stuff, the long, I mean, there just didn't do anything. You're going to have to help this defense one way or another.
I think that's fair.
I think it's points. It's got to be points. And I even said, Zach asked me, what's your halftime adjustment? I say, I'm not punting anymore. I'm just not punting, because if I punt, I'm just going to put my defense out there and there's nothing you could do. Yeah. It's a lot on the offense, but that's kind of Dallas Cowboys football in 2025 right now.
Well, Brett, I wonder if you felt this way after they punted in the first half to start the second half. The Bears went on that 19 play 76 yards, wheels off from that point on.
It's not your day today.
Yeah, and that's early in the game to feel that way because that's when they went up 10, 24-14 at the end of that.
That was 31-14.
Well, then it's over.
Yeah.
Then you don't have because you don't have the wherewithal, and your defense, as poorly as it's playing, now has to stay out there for 9-10 minutes at a stretch, And so, yeah, 31-14, it's kind of out of hand because you can't play offense the way you want to play it anymore, and you don't have Lamb. If it's close, you've got Pickens, you've got some things you can do. You might be able to, but when you've got a big gap like that to overcome without Lamb, then that is probably a lot. I think what they are showing us is that what they want to do is run the ball and therefore throw when they want to throw.
Right.
And they're being somewhat successful at that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think your comments are fair, that they just, those situations where they punted or even kicked instead of scoring a touchdown,
Right.
those are things
Right.
they don't have that margin for error right now.
No, they don't. And it's unfair. It's unfair to this offense. But right now, it's the only thing I got. I got a damn good kicker and an offense that's got some skill guys and a quarterback that can play at a very high level at times. But right now, I don't have anything on defense. I have no confidence at all in this defense. And unfortunately, my offense has got to be my best defense, is what it has to be.
That's a tough way to play.
But that's who we are. That's who we are until you figure out a pass rush and you figure out blitzing and you get back hurt bodies. Mm-hmm. That's who you are right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's an unfair statement.
No. Anything else before we let you out of here, Brad?
I'm glad it's not a long flight. And I know I personally will spend most of the next 2 days in prayer, and I think that's a very good place to be.
Pray for us all, Brad.
I'll join you, my man. Thank you so much. Fly home safe.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Okay. See you later.
There he goes, the legendary voice of your Dallas Cowboys, Brad Sham, joining us here on the official post-game show of your Dallas Cowboys. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
You're turn it on, leave it on.
Damn, man. Damn.
I gotta agree with what he's saying, but at the same time, that's a fucked up position to be in, and that's a terrible, terrible spot to be in. That is not winning football. That's not winning football.
Shootouts.
not winning football.
That's why you gotta. That's why you gotta make moves early, man. You gotta do business and stop being in feelings and shit. Do it early, get it out the way, so when shit do hit the fan, you were prepared. You got time to recover.
Nah, man, they don't want to do that because then they out of the news. They gotta stay in the headlines. They gotta hold it off and lead off ESPN. What is the Cowboys gonna do with so and so? What are they gonna do? Yeah, they need that publicity.
Yeah, man.
So they like. And so he's talking about in that documentary. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I was looking at this Thanksgiving game, man. No, son. No, son. No,
at least by then we have some players back.
Yeah, Demo will be back, but I don't think they soft, man. They
Bland.
soft.
We'll have Bland back.
Yeah, he might get hurt again, man.
I can see it. If it's not him, Diggs will be hurt again. One of them.
Yeah.
Man. We got two all-star brittle cornerbacks.
Right, brittle, dog. Brittle, man.
And we got another hurt one. We got another third round.
Yeah. Carson, Caleb, Casey.
No, Savon was well. The one we drafted.
Yeah, Rebel.
Picked up another brittle.
Yeah, man. And then that Reddy Stewart, dog, man, get your ass out of there, dude. For real. I seen some, man, Zion would have made that one tackle, man, where you was all hesitant, man. Get your ass up out of here, dog. For real. It's time for you to go already. For real. Your ass ain't ready.
And the Eberflus, dog, you got too many new guys back there to even be trying to run that zone like that. It really don't even matter.
That's his shit.
What did they do at training camp? Why is it we in week 3 and nobody still knows how to properly execute his zone? Why are these people still getting behind us? What have we been doing for the whole offseason, man?
And then that's just regular football. Like, you know how to play zone at your position. Like, you get paid to play DB, bro. Zone is the same thing at every level.
But the communication ain't on point. So
All right, that's what I'm trying to understand. Like,
if your communication on point, yeah, you don't want to talk, and that's the key to making sure it's work. It's just like, in basketball, to flip it over. Like if you run a 2-3 or whatever, or a 3-2, whatever kind of zone you're running, you got to communicate. You have to communicate because all the parts has got to be able to move as one unison. It's not like man. Everybody just got your man, and you go wherever your man at. When you play zone, you got to be very, very disciplined in playing zone because you have to communicate. If one person's off, that throws the whole thing out of whack. It throws the whole thing out of whack.
Usually on those, it's usually the back end. Somebody back there who's controlling it. So now I'm questioning the leadership on defense. Like, you niggas so butthurt about Micah, y'all ain't even tuned in to football. Like Micah, like that's another problem with the individuals to me on the team. Like, y'all so tough about Micah. Like, Micah moved on. Micah's talking shit about where he used to be. Y'all still worrying about him and tweeting about him and all of those shit, man. Get it. And then Diggs won't holler at Bubba Dub and won't be all in his inbox. Man, get in the film room.
Man.
I ain't see that. What happened?
Him and Bubba Dub going back and forth.
Yeah, Bubba Dub called him trash or something, so he got he inboxed him and started talking shit. Bubba Dub.
And you come out here this week, you talking about you want to talk shit to him, then you come out this week and out there getting burnt.
Toast.
Right.
Toast.
Losing your foot and shit, man. All of those weak ass shit. Come on, man.
You running this zone. We keep running this zone out. And you running this zone with no pressure. You don't have the horses back there to keep up in the race. You got to switch this up. Your zone ain't working with the defensive line that you got. It just ain't. It's proofs in the pudding. If we won't keep running this zone, you have to start doing some blitzing or something. You got to get some pressure to get this.
Yeah.
The back end is not holding up.
No.
Period.
He did man on that first touchdown they scored. That was man. Where
that was man.
On Diggs? The one on Diggs?
Yeah.
That's when he came up that silly ass jam and lost his foot in a slip, whatever the hell he did. And got burnt.
Yeah, we know it's you. Motherfucker.
All right, we see you, nigga. We see your jersey. We see you back there chasing down.
Yeah.
All right, what the fuck?
I'm doing that 7 wrong, man. You gotta take that 7 off. You won't act like that, dog.
Absolutely.
Change that number.
Yeah, change your number, dog.
Yeah. Right now.
To do this, they have no choice. It's Pickens, it's Lamb, it's Ferguson, it's Williams, and it's Booker, and anybody else that plays on that offensive line. Smith, that's them, because their defense is way too compromised to do anything. And what's disappointing is Dallas's offense did not take advantage of a Bears defense. I was on the Bears pregame show today, talking with their guys. They're like, man, we are really banged up. I mean, how are we going to stop you guys?
And they lost their right tackle, Darnell Wright, during the game.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, you can't get any passers. Braxton Jones, you watch the tape of Braxton Jones all week, and all of a sudden, he's giving up pressure after pressure after pressure. 2 sacks last week. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Aiden Hutchinson, those guys are the Lions. But, man, just nothing.
Yeah, going against the Eagles, I get it. That's a great offensive line.
Yeah.
There is no reason for Dante Fowler, for Sam Williams, for these guys that we've seen be productive NFL players not to be able to take advantage of Jags. Yeah. And I'm talking just a guy. What the Giants and the Bears put out there at tackle the last 2 weeks are average at best offensive linemen.
I will say this, and I think we said it a lot.
Agreed.
I felt like the Bears' offensive line was better than what the Giants were. And that was my concern That was my concern.
You want to speak on that, Rick?
Nah, I just agree. I agree.
All
With
right.
the people we
Like,
sitting
wow,
out there.
okay, now
I guess the average, they got an average Jags, just another average guy that they got on their line. It's two average lines, and we get no pressure against average Joes. That's trouble. It's trouble. It's trouble.
Yeah. Hopefully, Clowney can bring something.
now you're playing an offensive line that's a little bit better, but you have a quarterback that can kill you with his legs.
Right.
He didn't have to kill you with his legs today because he finally found some guys, and you're really fortunate he missed some passes today.
Yeah.
He missed some
and,
passes.
and the thing is, you gave him mulligans on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
He misses a throw.
Yeah.
That's all right. He gets it back on the. I mean, they gave up plays of 65, 35, 41, 31, 11, 12. I mean, they had 7 different players have plays over 10 or more yards.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable in the National Football League.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll talk more about this one. Of course, post-game show rolling on. I see the lines are full. We will get to your calls and texts, and we will let you vent. 877-881-1053.
Okay, wait to see what Shotty got to say about this.
He gonna have something crazy to say, man. I'm tired. And I'm tired. Yeah, Eberflus too, but I'm tired of that multiple word too. Shit, like I'm getting tired of that shit. It's like McCarthy saying complimentary football and all that. All I'm hearing is Shotty.
Right.
We gotta be multiple. We gotta be multiple and all that old dumbass shit, man. I'm tired of buzzwords, man. Play
Right. We dominated one thing.
Yeah, play football, man. Let's play football. I don't want to keep hearing these little buzzwords, man, for real.
That was such a massive play. The second play of the game, Javonte Williams running it, and it's the same play that Miles Sanders had, just that gorgeous long 49-yard run before he fumbled on that drive, and Steele gets out in front and is leading the way 22 yards down the field. Here's Tyreek Stevenson, the former second-round pick out of Miami for Chicago, just rips the ball away. Tremendous individual play. But Cowboys, after a 3-and-out on defense, it looked like they were well on their way, as Brad said, to going down the field and taking a lead. That turnover happens. Bears cash in 7-0, and it just spiraled from there, 31-14.
Yeah.
Bears end up getting the win.
You said like you felt like when Dallas punted the ball after coming out of the half that
was it.
That was it for
Yeah.
you.
And then especially after the 19-play, 10-minute drive, basically.
Yeah, you had
put
no idea that was going to happen.
It was put a fork in them. But yeah, as soon as because you felt as though, okay, Chicago's going to get points here.
I did too. See, that's why you asked me at halftime what my adjustments would be. I said,
yeah,
don't punt. I don't think but they were probably in a situation where I think that when they punted, they were on their own 30. Is where they're at,
and it was that 10-yard sack. That hurt the drive.
It just felt like that nothing that they were going to do defensively. The very first series of the game, the Bears had been good all year on the first drive of the game, and you get them to like 3 plays -2, and you get them to punt. But from that point on, you just didn't do anything to affect Caleb Williams today.
Amen. And if you want to point the finger at the offense, that's the drive.
Yeah.
That you could not come out of the half already down 10 and punt the football.
Yeah.
You needed to go down the field and score. Because as soon as the Bears got the ball back and the way in which they drove to just milk the clock, put a fork in them. It just felt like the wind was out of the sails at that point. And then it was interception. Tremaine Edwards doinks right off the hands of Pickens. Tremaine Edmonds makes a great interception. The Edmonds interception in the end zone there.
Yeah.
It just offensively, it wasn't good enough. But they have to be perfect on offense. They have to score like 80% of the drives.
And I know folks are lining up to call in and say, oh, no, it's hard to be that way. But that's really the only way you're going to win games. You're going to have to win games like you won them against the Giants last week. That's really until they figure out things. And there might not be any figuring out. It might be, okay, this is kind of who we are, and let's see where, where you get guys back to help. Does Clowney make a difference? Does having the cornerbacks show back up again? Does that help you play it a different way?
Right.
But right now, you are not very good on defense, and your only real saving opportunity in games is your offense.
Yeah, you have to keep paying.
Not every 24-hour smile is created equal.
Dang, I must have got on the wrong YouTube.
I think a lot of
I just didn't feel like that they did a good enough job. They ran the ball, which you could. We talked about in the pregame. You could run the ball on the Bears, and I felt like you could throw the ball on the Bears.
That'll be the interesting thing to go back and watch the tape downfield where there's some missed opportunities, because there was a lot of underneath the Ferguson, underneath the Williams, underneath the Sanders. I mean, it's the third and long, and you're just going to throw it underneath.
Yeah, and where it's like do you not feel confident of throwing the ball down the field? And is Tolbert struggling to get open? Is
Turpin
struggling to get open? Is Pickens struggling to get open? How could you just not take a vertical shot, max that thing up, and take a vertical shot? The one thing Pickens could do is draw Bears penalties.
Yeah.
So that's it. That was a tough one, man. That was
the long was the 37-yarder to Turpin, which was late in the fourth quarter. I mean, the game was pretty much out of the balance. Pickens had that 24-yarder in the first half, but certainly not a lot of plays down the field. 877-881-1053, the number to call, the number to text. Get to the phones here in just a second. We'll let you hear from your Cowboys owner and general manager, Jerry Jones.
Really want to give the Bears a real attaboy. I really thought we came out and were ready to play. I thought we had a lot, and they were able to take several plays and just keep hitting us right on the nose with them, and that ended up being a big difference in the game. But give the Bears a lot of credit. Huge win for them, as it should be here at home, and plus with what they're trying to do with their franchise. The Bears are the Bears.
How concerned are you with the big plays again on defense?
Well, those big plays on either side will eventually take the heart out of you when you get a bunch of them. And I will tell you, I thought a lot of our team really hung in there, getting hit on the end of the nose with some pretty big haymakers there. Those, what we call dominant plays over 20 yards. And those will take it out of you finally. Not only do they take it out of you field position and scores, but it'll take it out of you too. I thought our guys hung in good. We came out ready to play. I thought we ran the ball about as well as I've seen us run the ball. But it wasn't enough when you have the guys open that we've got, and some of the things we did to that fumble hurt us on that first drive. But in general, they came back out the second half, though, and took it to us physically. So give them their due.
And what's your level of concern with CeeDee Lamb?
I talked to him. He felt good about it, really did. And I just talked to him just a second ago, and he thought he could go, so that's a good sign. And then the doctors told him that they thought it was not as serious as it could be. So all that's what's
Brian kind of politics his way back on the Louis started talking his way back on the field. Was it just
I don't trust nothing. I don't trust nothing to come out of there, man. I don't trust nothing that come out of there, though. For real. I don't trust none of that, man. Saying he's good. He, for one, anytime you turn your ankle, I don't care if it's just a small tweak, that next day, you ain't gonna be able to move. You ain't gonna be able to move with that foot. That foot's gonna be, man. So I ain't trying to hear how he felt right now. It's still adrenaline, still pumping.
Yeah.
He came back and played.
Huh?
It's the other case that he would play.
Right.
Man, I watched him come back out there. He couldn't cut on that, so it's more than just
right.
And Josh was saying to come across and said he feel like he'd be able to play next week. I thought, we'll see.
Yeah, I just needed him to keep my parlay alive with a hit. I need the anytime touchdown.
I think everybody had that too. That's probably why.
Yeah, because he
might be in Vegas.
Yeah, That's crazy, dog. Like as soon as I set up the formula right, dog, you know what I'm saying? He's out in the first series. Like that was crazy, man.
Doubt in my mind that he would have gone out there hobbling around if you let him. But let's just keep our fingers crossed. You see the
Hold up. No, he wouldn't because he waved over there and said he couldn't do it. So stop it, Jerry, dog. He waved after that play. He waved to the sideline and shook his head. No, I can't do this. So it wasn't no, if we would have let him. So come on with all
difference he can make in a ball game, but not being out there for us today.
How much did it hurt you guys? How much did it hurt you guys to lose?
Well, I want to give the Bears a lot of credit here. They were able to really effectively make big plays against our defense. Had good, really, it was 2 turnovers, all of that. I thought we'd come back out the second half, and I thought we'd run the ball on them. Instead, they did a good job of making that 18-play drive or 19 plays, and after having the big play first half, came back out and just ground it out for a touchdown. It's disheartening.
Jerry, after the Micah trade, you talked about the assets you acquired with the draft picks, how you could use those this year. With what you've seen in these first 3 games, are you feeling like you might need to use that capital?
Well, of course, to use that capital, you've got to have the opportunity to use it. And frankly, no matter what I had seen in these first 3 ball games, if I had the opportunity to really do some good with those picks, I would do it. And we've got them, and that's one of the advantages for, if you will, making the trade.
But do you feel more urgency maybe now after what you've seen?
Well, not necessarily. That implies that being more urgent, I can create an opportunity to use them. That usually doesn't work that way at all. You've got to have something that comes your way that's really special. And if you've got the currency to do it, which in this case it would be draft picks, we'll do it.
Jerry, are you concerned with the state of your pass rush right now? Seems like they're kind of struggling to get home.
Well, I think when it compromised us with our 4-man front up there today. And of course, we want to try and get there in this defense with that 4-man rush. We weren't getting there, plus we weren't covering. And that's a bad combination. And that's what happened to us out there today. So we did give them a little more pressure, dialed it up a little bit the second half. But they had a lot to say about it with how productive their offense was.
Jerry Jones speaking with the media after this 31-14 Cowboys loss to the Bears. What did you think of what Jerry had to say there, Brian?
Oh, I think that he probably thought his team was in this. He always talks about his team was ready to play, and I necessarily I don't always agree with that, with the way defensively. But let me, if I could, circle back real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. The numbers came out, the metrics came out, and I just want to. I'll circle back on Jerry, but I wanted to try and prove a point here. Throwing the ball against Stevenson, the corner, they were 3 of 10 for 36 yards. Throwing the ball against Wright and McLeod, they were 10 of 11 for 126 yards. There needed to be more at those guys.
Absolutely.
Stevenson was their best player in the secondary.
Yeah.
So Nashawn Wright and McLeod, you're 10 of 11 throwing the ball against them.
And they're backup players. Their starters are hurt.
And exactly right.
And we know Nashawn
One
Wright.
touchdown allowed.
Man, you only played.
You're only throwing the ball 3 times at McLeod. Why? Why is that? Why are you throwing the ball? Stevenson is their better of the corners where we've known Nashawn Wright. Mm-hmm. We know what he is.
He's not a guy that can cover George Pickens.
No, not at all.
Jalen Tolbert did a nice third down catch against him.
Okay, here we go. Flus in this game play, they say 86% zone. They were 15 of 24 for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns against zone. Against man, 14%. 4 for 4, 86 yards.
Wow.
2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
So picture poison. They were lethal against both. I mean, man didn't have, and so those 2 touchdowns were
Yeah, they
in man coverage.
They had 2 touchdowns against man, 2 touchdowns against zone for the four total touchdowns.
But you're right. I mean, why not pick on the other? Now, I guess that will be the thing. When you lose CeeDee and so everybody's bumped up, is Tolbert not getting open? Is Turpin not getting open? Is Flanoy not getting open?
Maybe we're misevaluating, and I'm saying we. I mean, I'm part of this.
Right.
Maybe misevaluating like we did the defensive ends. Waiting for Turpin, waiting for, it looked like to me that, not Turpin, Tolbert, excuse me. But it looks like to me that Turpin is a guy that can win downfield. Unfortunately, down in the end zone, the interception, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dak got him last week, fit a ball inside. That ball just, give the Bears credit on the play. But they, to me, this is where the offense, if you're wearing somebody out, like I say, not enough balls at right and not enough balls at McLeod.
And I
in this
wonder
football game
if
to move the football.
Yes, and I agree with you 100%. And I wonder if Dennis Allen, because he was showing some different looks, he looks like, okay, he's going to go cover 0 blitz. They back out of it. And some texts are coming in, well, your answer is the quarterback. That's on the quarterback. And I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
But even Tom Brady is a guy that struggled against Dennis Allen. Maybe Dennis Allen confused Dak.
Okay, your quarterback, this is what he did. This is what the Bears did to you defensively. 64% zone. Dak was 24 of 30 for 180, 2 interceptions. Now, okay, we have to see.
When 24 of 30 is good, but the 2 interceptions, obviously not. Now, one of them doinked off of Pickett's hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That could be. And then the man coverage, they played 36% man. They were 10 of 15 against man coverage. They had 112 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception against the man coverage stuff.
Yeah.
But the 2 interceptions in zone coverage, and Dak was 24 of 30 for $180. But it makes me wonder why you go into games and you're like, how do we match up against McLeod? How do we match up against Nashawn Wright?
Yeah, to pick on the weak link. And they did it great against Adoree Jackson.
Exactly.
And week 1 against Philly. It seemed like, okay, that's something that they're going to do with this coaching staff. Today, not so much, which is why I wonder, was it anything schematically that Dennis Allen did to...
Is Shoddy trying to be cute a lot of the times? But he won't line CeeDee up in the backfield and shit. So when we just said their backups are playing, why are we not going at them?
Right.
Why are we not going at them? We got Javonte and shit. You putting CeeDee back there? Where Jadon at?
Right.
Get Dak out of rhythm, or were players just not running open to where he trusted to fire the ball into? And the turnovers were killers.
We could look at the air yards. I mean, we could look at how they with the passing in this game. You could probably look at those. It just seemed like to me the ball wasn't going.
There's a lot underneath.
A lot of underneath. So, okay, Dak was 31 of 40 for 251, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Average per attempt was 6.3. So he was pressured 12 times in this game, is what they had, with the 2 sacks, is what they said.
Well, on the counter, this was, according to Courtney Cronin, who covers the Bears for ESPN, this was Caleb Williams' first career game without being sacked.
Yeah.
First time in his entire career.
Seven pressures. 7 pressures on 28 dropbacks is what they said. He averaged 10.6 yards a throw in this game.
Yeah. Caleb Williams posted the second game this century by a Bears quarterback with 4 passing touchdowns, no turnovers, no sacks taken. The only other time that happened, we got to go back to 2006, the year they went to the Super Bowl, and it was Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman, yeah.
Damn.
That hurts to hear.
Let me get over to OT. Look like the OT is started, man. I'm gonna get over there. Because they'll be in the locker room, seeing the players back in the locker room. 1 second. Get over to the OT. Let's see. All right.
Loss for the Dallas Chicago Bears. It's the first win of the Ben Johnson era for Chicago and the second loss of the Brian Schottenheimer era. Frisco, Barry Church, Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback. Let's not waste any time. Let's go out to Soldier Field and hear from the head coach, Coach Schottenheimer, after the loss.
What's up, everybody? I'm good.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Coach, your thoughts on the offense after you lost CeeDee? How difficult was it to get something going?
Well, I thought, the bigger thing for us was, we were running the ball really well early in the game, and, the score kind of got away from us a little bit. We come out at halftime, we're only down 10, and we get a start of a drive, and I think that was the bigger issue. Certainly you lose a player like CeeDee, it affects you, but again, we just didn't play well. We really didn't, and told the guys that, and it's going to be a humbling business. If you don't take care of business, you don't play well, then you're not going to win. What I pointed out to the guys very clearly was, we got to stop giving up big plays on defense, and we got to stop turning the ball over on offense. I mean, it's a bad formula, but, we have played 17, did not play well tonight. Certainly didn't play well enough to win. Give them credit. They did a good job, and they were better than us tonight.
You've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. Is it communication today, or what do you think it was?
Same thing. Diggs slips down on the one. He just stumbles. The flea flicker, we're right there, and it's like, whatever. But we did have a guy jumped up one time on a low route, let the guy get in behind him on something. That can't happen. So, again, just can't happen. There's just too many big plays, and we know that. We addressed it. I don't shy. I told the guys this. I said, hey, here's the deal. I don't just talk to you guys after a game and just throw a bunch of coach speak at you. I'm going to be honest with them, and I was. I told them, like I just said. I said, hey, we got to stop giving up big plays, explosives, and we got to protect the football.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys. First off, can you give us an update on Diggs and Clark's injuries?
Yeah, Diggs, I think, is okay. Had to come in and get some x-rays, but I think he's okay. Came back in the game. Clark's got a little bit of an ankle, and again, I think he's going to be okay. A little bit more tests to be done, but again, he's tough. We got beat up a little bit today. That's all part of it. But hopefully we'll get these guys back healthy and be ready to roll.
CeeDee.
Yeah, he's got an ankle sprain. More imaging to come. We'll see. Just got to have more tests done. But and he wanted to try to come back in and play, and thought he could, but it just kind of, those are the type of injuries that kind of get sore.
Defensively,
So you can hear all of Brian Schottenheimer on DallasCowboys.com following the post-game reaction as a whole. Isaiah, I know as we're talking through some of these scenarios and how this kind of conspired, your thoughts now that Schottenheimer's had the chance to address it, at least in the early portion of his press conference.
Off camera, Kyle, I know you're saying that he's not going to throw his guys under the bus, and I respect that. I definitely respect the fact that you're not going to throw your guys under the bus. However, you have a choice in the press conference to not itemize the mistakes that took place in the game. But as soon as you do itemize the mistakes, then accountability has to be had. That's not to say that that's not going to happen behind the scenes, but in terms of forward facing, you said that Diggs slipped. That's factual. However, I don't think that Diggs is what Diggs was before. So I don't believe that it's a good idea to come try to press a man that outweighs you by 25 pounds at the line of scrimmage who's coming off of 2 touchdowns on the season. That's probably just not the best idea. He's their hot hand. He had all 3 of their touchdowns coming into this game. In terms of the flea flicker, your safety was running 8 yards behind the man that was open. You almost had him in the background, but in the backfield. But you can say that about a lot of pass plays. There's a bunch of other coverage things that took place. You're absolutely right that you can't give up big plays defensively, and you offensively you have to keep the ball. George Pickens tipped off the hand, should have been caught, interception. Williams on the opening drive, got the ball chicken strip from him. Those are 2 big plays. So yeah, you're right. You can't give up the ball and you can't give up big plays, but I don't like making excuses per se or justifying why things happen in the game. Just say these are the things that happen in a game. We can't allow them to happen. That'll be my statement.
Yeah, not only that, to me, it's kind of the nonchalant way of how he's answering these questions. And I get it. Not everybody's going to be, a Bill Parcells or, that type of guy who's going to just lament the whole team. But when you go out there and say, hey, it happens, slip here. We were right there, but then, guy just made a good catch. And that's not actually what that are scot-free, wide open out there in the secondary. Pass rush, not even existent in this game. No, these things are alarming because it's not like it's just a one-off here and there. These are 2 weeks consistently where your team has allowed explosive play after explosive play after explosive play against quarterbacks who have struggled against the majority of the National Football League. So, you want your players to go out on the field with urgency. Want to and get out there and run through a brick wall for you out there. But when you get on these press conferences and it's more just like, it kind of happens that way. This is the league, hey, excuses here, excuses there. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way. And I'm not in that locker room, so I can't say how those players feel about the situation. But I know being a former player, that would kind of rub me the wrong way.
Just when you say that, Coach, and it's a whole hum way you're saying it, understand that your players are listening too. It's just not us as media types or talking heads. Your players listen to, and you can't teach them, hey, this is what we expect from you. Oh, but if you slip, it's okay. No, once you slip, you don't go up on a man of that size again with that same. But we saw him later on in the same coverage. You don't keep making the same mistakes over, and you have to have a pass rush, Coach.
I like exactly what you guys are saying. And remember, for those at home, played in the NFL, played in the NFL, played in the NFL. There's a lot of experience here when it comes to it. No, these guys and us as a whole are not in that locker room, so we don't know the accountability behind the walls. Right. But all we can speak to is what is being spoken to at the podium, and that's what we heard there from Brian Schottenheimer after the loss to Chicago. When we come back, we continue to break.
Yeah, we can fast forward through a lot of this because we on the. But yeah, man, Shotty, man, just
all that cool shit.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Your actions ain't matching your rap. You keep preaching physicality, but you doing everything but that.
Yeah, man.
Like, too many pets on the edge. And Jerry, you're gonna have to, you need to go get a safety. You're gonna need to go get an edge rusher.
Yeah, we keep talking. I ain't gonna say we, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of the conversation is on Micah and the pass rush, but we fumble on that Jordan Lewis, man. Like, that's really coming back to bite us, dude. For real, man.
The one time we go against our guys type of deal that we usually do, is biting us in the ass.
Yeah, it's
and
we
you can't do it and not go get high quality free agents or make high quality trades.
Yeah. Plus Jordan back there, he's a dog back there too. He ain't just a smart player. He's a dog too, man. So we traded that for some low IQs, man.
I see that losing Al Harris hurts to me too.
Yeah.
Ain't got no back there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at losing Jay Lue's big. That's big.
Yeah.
Let's hear from CeeDee Lamb, who left the game early in the first quarter due to an ankle injury. He gives an update on what happened and what his availability might look like moving forward.
Much better than the first quarter, I could tell you that.
It looked like you were kind of trying to talk your way back out there on the field at a couple of different points. What were they telling you, and why were they ultimately saying, I guess, no?
Yeah, this is like one of those protect me away from myself type of deals. So once I start feeling, much better, and then I started to get the strength back in my ankle as far as mobility and able to cut and like real dynamic movements, I was ready to go back out there, but then they told me no.
How's the ankle now? Is it swelled up much?
It's all right. It's all right.
Do you feel like it's something you can play through?
For sure. Absolutely.
Jerry said he felt like you guys had gotten some pretty good news on the back end when you got back here to the locker room and talking to the team doctors. Remember when they told you about what actually happened and how you do?
I mean, that I'm able to continue to play. I feel like anytime you're able to sustain like one of those crazy injuries as far as someone else falling on you or, things of that nature, I feel like it's a scary situation. And for me to come out on top, essentially, to say the least, I feel like that's good news.
Have you seen video of the play yet?
Nah, I haven't. What does it look like? I mean, you ain't got to show me right now, but.
Did you think it was going to be worse than it is?
Nah, I broke my ankle a lot playing basketball, and I think that's what it essentially felt like. But obviously, with more body weight, guy was kind of heavy.
Broke? What do you mean sprain?
Sprain.
So there's the reaction and the update from CeeDee Lamb following the loss.
Well, maybe
which
he
is
was
good
trying to
news.
get
He
back
says,
out there.
I mean, the question was asked, do you feel like you could play through this next
I
week?
just
He
ain't
said,
seen
"Absolutely."
nobody
So,
mad yet.
at least right now,
Yeah, everybody cool.
I haven't seen not one person mad or angry about the loss. He got him a little smirk on his face. Shotty come out to the press conference. What up? Starting it off. What up?
Right.
He's nonchalant about it. Jerry wasn't mad. Nobody's mad about that loss other than us.
Right.
I don't like that. I don't like
We
that.
over here steaming, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't like
steaming.
it.
Yeah, man. So what about so what about the helmet throwing on the sideline? Does that count?
Oh, Malik Hooker, when he did that because he got his ass burnt.
I thought that was Pickens.
Too. It was both of
Yeah,
them.
Pickens did that too.
Yeah.
When did Pickens do it? When he dropped that ball and caused that pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, smack yourself. Yeah, smack yourself. The helmet should have popped back up in your goddamn face.
Right. Because you should have called
Y'all not focused, y'all. What y'all doing inside last night, bro? Y'all was not there.
Yeah, man.
Real.
Yeah, man.
Y'all playing against less than. Y'all should have had a party in Chicago, man, on that field. I didn't,
I mean, Fergie was trying to push through, but
Man, Fergie out there catching balls and falling on the spotlight with man.
I mean,
I'm sick of him too, dog. Let's talk about it, dog, because you
all
just
his
got
raps was
paid.
4 yards.
How many yards?
All his raps was like 4 yards. Man, get upfield.
Right.
Man. Somebody get up.
Soon as you get touched, you ain't trucking or nothing. You going straight down.
He had 13 for 13, didn't he?
Yeah. He had, how many yards he had on 13 completions?
I want to say he was in his 70s. Let me look.
13 receptions, he ain't bust 100. He a tight end.
He's the check down guy.
That's all we was doing was checking down.
All right. So you check down about 5-6 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. You can't fall another pass.
Check down.
260 something.
He was Joe Milton. I mean, not Milton. Jake Ferguson. 13 receptions, 82 yards.
I ain't gonna trip on you, Ferg. I ain't gonna trip on you.
Yeah,
look good.
He led everybody in receiving, actually.
Yeah, that ain't good. And you playing against second tier, third tier corners. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Damn. All right, let's get back to it.
everything's good. Looks like good news here, which is a sigh of relief because Isaiah, the offense, did not look very good following his departure.
No, I hope he's okay. We all know once you get off that flight, though,
that's a little different.
Injuries hit a little bit different after you get off that flight. But if he said he's going to be able to play, I would love to take his word for it because they definitely need him. To your point, Kyle, this offense was not the same. It turned into pretty much a dink and dunk match with Jake Ferguson being the guy that was the security blanket. As we've said many times on this show, Jake Ferguson had 172 catches for like 50 yards today. He was Johnny on the spot. Yeah, I mean, I think no.
Y'all see how the crew just was all on that before we even hit play.
Exactly.
I forget how many yards he had, 70 some odd yards, like 13, 14 catches, something like that. But he was that guy for Dak, but unfortunately you did not have the plays down the field. Pickens was able to go out there and have a little bit of success, but not as much as you would like for him to have, especially when you're coming into the season saying that he's your 1B. The reality is when CeeDee Lamb is off the field, you lose not only your biggest playmaker offensively, but you also lose your leader in that position group. He is more than just a great player. He is the leader of that group. And you do not, make no mistake, you do not have another man that can supplement what he provides this team in that position.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how important he is to this offense. I mean, how many one-on-one opportunities he creates for everyone else. George Pickens, Ferguson, Tolbert, Turpin, those guys, they get the one-on-ones. They get the ability to, get shots downfield because the coverage is so much focused on a CeeDee Lamb. And when he went out, like I said earlier, it felt like the juice and the oxygen to this offense kind of went away with him. I mean, that's why you get a guy like George Pickens, because you feel like, okay, with anything wherever to happen to CeeDee or they're shutting him down, double teaming, triple teaming him, we can have George Pickens on the other side going crazy on one-on-one situations. And that's not what happened in this game. He had a couple, catches here and there, but I would expect a little bit more out of George Pickens with, CeeDee Lamb being out. Hopefully CeeDee Lamb's able to come back next week and, still be that 1A to his the 1A to George Pickens 1B. But overall, I need to see a little bit more out of George Pickens, especially with CeeDee Lamb being out of the lineup.
It's just amazing that we do this 1A, 1A. It's CeeDee Lamb. He moves the safety.
Yeah.
When he's over there, when you have a 3-by-1 and he's over there standing by himself, the safety still sits over there.
Yeah.
That's just how gangster he is. It's CeeDee Lamb. Hope you get back as soon as possible because this team needs you. You moves the extra player to free up everybody else.
And he's the one that moves the needle for this team too, and the way that gauge goes into the latter parts of the season. Hopefully he's good to go for that big time matchup on Sunday Night Football next week.
All that's true, but all that's true, but DP still that talented, and we didn't feed him the ball like we did last game.
Right.
We didn't let him be his threat down the field and put pressure on them secondary. That was lacking.
And the one time we did, he ain't catch it.
Yeah.
He turned it over. But we still should have fed with that. CeeDee, we still got to get more feeds.
Yeah, you still got to give him because that's uncharacteristic. So you still got to bump it.
I got to look and see, was he getting open? I need to look and see, was he getting open? Was they, now that CeeDee was gone, was they double teaming him, taking him out? Because after him, there ain't nobody else for real. I mean, you got Turpin borderline, but after Pickens, nobody. So if they drop 2 on him, we toast.
They got Tolbert out there weekend.
Trash. He did get a pass from me from Pittsburgh, but bruh's wearing thin, bruh's running thin.
Running thin.
Damn, man. Damn.
Pickens, but a couple of interceptions and some wide.
14 points is never going to be okay. Dang sure not with this offense, this unit, the team, the players that we have. And 6 of those were field goals. So not acceptable, not to our standard, not anywhere in what we believe in and what we're capable of doing. And got away quick and had a chance right there to cut it back to 10 and had a turnover in the red zone. That's unacceptable.
How much did losing Lamb hurt you guys and affect the way they cover Pickens?
Obviously, you lose a player like CeeDee, it hurts, and it's hard to substitute that. When you've got the players that we've got, we're wondering anyways how teams are going to play us. So then when you lose a guy like that, maybe it made their game plan a lot easier from their standpoint to, double George, Cloud George, what they did early. He was still able to make some plays. But yeah, you can't. It's tough. It's tough to win a game. You lose a player like CeeDee for sure.
You can catch all of Dak's postgame press conference on DallasCowboys.com as well. Back with Barry Church, Nate Newton, and Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Nate, I'll start with you on this one. Dak Prescott. It seemed like, of course, the 31 of 40 is a good number. That means you're completing the majority of your passes. You're being efficient for the most part. But a lot of that was underneath when CeeDee Lamb went out. They didn't try the deep ball a ton because there was really no chance to get over the top.
Yes, he was just trying to make sure he get the ball out of his hands in a timely fashion, trying to protect this offensive line. He's got great pockets of awareness. He knows what is happening. They didn't give him, like he said, they took away Pickens, they knew what was happening. So they went to the young tight end and no success.
Yeah, to me, this was a confusing game offensively because when you look at it, I understand CeeDee Lamb was away, and that's a huge part of your offense. But the offensive line was playing well. The ground game was there. You would like to see more from Pickens.
You want to speak on that, Steve?
Well, I was just saying we wasn't multiple, like he always preaching, like you said, at multiple. We was not multiple today. Right. Like I said, we lost CeeDee, and then what happened?
Right.
But overall, you had the capabilities of moving the ball. It's just those decisions, those turnovers towards the end of the game kind of cost this team overall. But to me, it was kind of a confusing outing from this offense overall.
Touche. What these guys, I think that obviously everything that we just finished speaking about in terms of losing CeeDee Lamb, you just heard it reciprocated right there by Dak Prescott. You can't supplement what he means to this team. You can't supplement his impact on the field, but you have to find a way. And I think that they attempted to. He talked about the coverage on George Pickens. He had his opportunities where he had 5 of 9 on receptions. I know personally, I would love to see George Pickens create some more separation when he does have those one-on-one matchups. Seemingly, he's not getting releases where he can get some separation and get some yak yardage. Guys are sticky on him. They're hanging on his hip pocket. And then, Ferguson did what he could. He caught almost every ball that came his way. He was 13 for 14 on receptions. He did what he could, but they were playing bend but don't break defense to keep everything in front of them.
And that's one thing to keep in mind, too, is bend but don't break. On one side, the Cowboys did nothing but have the wide open breaks on the defensive side, and that hurts your offense because it's complementary football along the way. When we come back, we're going to flip our attention to the side of the football.
I'm getting ready to get up out of here off this weak ass shit. Let me see what Kenny Clark talking about.
Yeah, I bet I'm gonna get up at her too. We got to do the same shit tomorrow. Talk about these bums, man.
Let's see what the other side, what Kenny Clark saying.
And then a lot of it is play action. It's harder to convert, and rush out of play action. When you got teams, in those situations. So the more drop back situations we can get teams in, the better we'll be able to rush and be able to pin our ears back.
Looked like Caleb Williams was able to escape the pocket a little bit. How does the pass rush get home a little more consistent? Quarterback's going to do that. Russell Wilson last week.
It's just all of us just doing our job and just containing, rushing together as one, and just understanding, where he can spill out at. We knew he was going to be elusive in the pocket, and at the end of the day, we got to just do better and do our job.
Kenny, what happened with the ankle and how?
I'll be all right. My foot just got stuck in the ground when he had chopped me. When he had chopped me down, and my foot just got rolled up on. So I'll be all right though. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man. It was just the crew, man, stepping in there for a hot second, man. Yeah, watching the post game and just seeing where everybody's heads at after this. And it was Crew Rick, it was Steve-O with me, Dre. You can catch the crew tomorrow. Well, we'll put it out in a couple days, but we'll be in studio tomorrow to give our full analysis on the game, man. So again, looks like the Bears got us 31-14. I was talking too. I was out there. It's out there. I was talking. Yeah, I was talking, man. But yeah, so I'm humbled. I'm humbled into work tomorrow, man. With these faces I gotta look at. But man, Cowboys Run Uncut, man. We appreciate everybody tuning in with us, man. We'll catch you on the next one.